All right. Can you define GamerGate? You're the first person I'm asking this, by the way. I should have included this in all of the questions, but
Uh,
all the interviews.
because this is a lightning round too. Okay, it was
Well,
an event.
you can take longer for this one. It's okay.
It was a hashtag moment
Take his.
event
Okay.
collecting a lot of angry gamers who were also being censored on other places. So they collectively went to Twitter because it was like one of the last few places that wasn't censoring them and a little harder to wrangle them up. And they were able to compare notes on the censorship and issues that they had problems with. It was mislabeled constantly as sexual harassers, sexist harassers of women and people in the gaming space because it criticized journalists, and journalists get to write their own biographies of their enemies.
I know you interacted with some anti-GamerGate people in some very bad ways. Did you ever interact with them in
Yes.
positive ways too?
Yes. I still have some anti-GamerGate who acknowledge that I am not a terrible person for switching sides, if you will, and who understand where I was coming from. I think I met some people who were more neutral on Gamergate that I had the most positive interactions with. A few here and there I would have very lengthy discussions with, but they were, I'm not going to say positive.
Okay. Did you change anyone's mind
They're
on
just more
GamerGate?
neutral. Yes, many, fortunately.
Oh, how'd you do that?
Mostly just by being a woman and then telling them my personal experience with it and saying, okay, well, this is how I came into it, and you can think whatever you want. But for instance, I also met a few anthropologists who were interested in Gamergate as an anthropological event, and they did come away with the understanding that yes, we were not sexual harassers of women. And I personally had, I also had showed them a lot of my receipts of the harassment I was getting from anti-GamerGate. So they understood, like, yeah, there's also, like, you know, the third party trolls and things, but some of these were straight up, like, openly anti-GamerGate. So.
How could the GamerGate conversation have been more productive?
Uh, Clearer targets. It's very vague if you say we want to talk about ethics in games journalism or even ethics in journalism. I agree. I am all about the broad. I like big picture, but to be more targeted and finite, it would have been more concrete had we been able to come up with concrete resolutions and goals uh, to specifically point out, like, okay, this is what we want, this is how we're going to get there, and these are like our win achievement goals, if you will.
What do you think of NotYourShield?
Oh, I was definitely part of Not Your Shield because, like, woman, minority, yeah. I think it definitely exposed a lot of the lies. I think it also showed. I mean, I was very much anonymous, and I was very nervous about having to, you know, come out as woman in gaming, but I think it helped a lot. It also reminded me, like, I am very weird as a woman. Like, the games I play, I don't like Zelda, and I don't play that much Final Fantasy. And it just kind of like I'm playing, like, you know, like various motorcycle and like very very gory games and things, and I was like, yeah, yeah. Every time I see like the scattershot graphs of like what women versus men play the most of, I'm like, yeah, I'm basically a man, but I'm not physically, at least, or mentally. But yeah,
Some websites banned discussion of GamerGate. Why do you think that is?
Um, fear mostly. Like it in general, I think most things were assumed that if you didn't, then you would just be like overrun with like Nazi kind of things. I had joined and met my fiance through the other anime in Adult Swim message boards back in like 2004 or whatever. And in general, yeah, you have to always moderate your message boards or you'll be overrun with like Nazis.
Do
So
you
I
think
get it.
that
Like even bars.
if they didn't ban the GamerGate discussion, that the GamerGate discussion would have become full of Nazis?
No, I think they thought that because they were afraid and they were kind of like anything that criticizes a woman in gaming could lead to just pure trolls and, harassing people. And I think there's also like a lot of misconception about Aaron's post about the Zoe post, and they thought it was what I thought, which was like, oh, it's just revenge porn. Like, what is he doing? Like, of course, we're not going to allow discussion of that.
What do you think that
I don't think.
GamerGate? Do you think that GamerGate was about? Criticizing a woman in gaming, or about even like the Zoe post article or whatever blog post.
No, no, but also like once it got past that and became much more about like the ethics in journalism, obviously places that are, part of the ethics in journalism problem are not going to want to have a giant thing that says this is my weak spot. I'm a bad at my job. Like, yeah, like that's a given.
Why do you think that some people claimed that GamerGate was about harassment or hating women?
For the same reason Trump and DeSantis pretend that they're all about like helping the working man because they're lying while they pick your pocket.
How important to you was it that that bad actors were condemned?
Mm, a lot. I was part of the like harassment group where if like anti-harassment group obviously where if you saw someone doing bullying or harassment you sent flags to Twitter. You sent a message, you said this is where the post is, this is what is being said. And I would also sometimes, if the person was really extreme, I would talk to them personally. And you could get more action sometimes if they were targeting you personally. So that was something I purposely tried to do because woman in gaming, I'm open about that. So
So you were part of the GamerGate Harassment Patrol?
yeah, or yeah, the anti-harassment patrol.
Yeah, where they stopped the harassers. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to clarify for
Yeah.
your book because, like, otherwise
No, I
it
understand.
sounds like yes, we go around harassing
I was with the
women.
harassment group. Whoa, hold up! The anti-harassment group. Yeah, no, I completely get
Yes,
it.
yes,
Paulo, I interviewed him. He was part of the harassment patrol too, the anti-harassment patrol.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Did you two talk at all? You and Paulo Munoz, game diviner?
Believe so. Yes,
You and I didn't talk a whole lot during GG. I think we were on a couple
you
streams
didn't.
together, but
We're
that was
surprised.
yeah. Well, we might have talked a little bit on Twitter, like retweeted each other or whatever, but like not
Yeah,
super often. So you were part of the harassment patrol. Um, Obviously the media didn't seem to care that we tried to
they did
stop
not.
harassers.
That's why I said it wasn't about the optics for me because I knew the media wasn't going to care. Like it didn't matter the truth on that case because they have incentive not to tell the truth on that. And it's more work to tell the truth or find the truth or publish the truth. And especially to go backwards, people tend to stick with first impressions and it's very difficult to change. And I say that as someone who did do that. It's very hard. And especially when it comes to like clickbait kind of journalism, you they're not gonna do it. But it was more important for because it was a part of our ethics. Like we're literally trying to say, but we're not like this. We don't do this. This is further proof of what the truth is. So, do I think we only got people who came in and looked at the truth? Yeah, but I know we did get some of those people. Like I said, I met anthropologists who came in to see for themselves.
People in the chat are saying harassment patrol is the extreme of bad branding, especially given the context. Please call it anti-harassment patrol or something else. Look,
You
hey,
probably
look,
didn't say it to
look. I'm gonna say something right here, okay? I didn't come up with the terms harassment patrol, okay? You fuckers did that, okay? This was before I joined GamerGate even. You guys called it the harassment patrol, not the anti-harassment patrol. Now, obviously, your intentions were good.
Now,
You did a lot of good stuff,
I don't,
but
to be
like,
fair,
don't blame. Hey,
we,
look, you can't put this one on me as an interviewer.
we didn't name Gamergate either. My brother was asking me that this night because he was like, "Oh, you should mention this." We did not name Gamergate. Alec Baldwin did because he was just like referencing, yeah, in Watergate, the journalists were telling the truth, but here the journalists are doing the cover up.
Yeah,
Okay,
Adam Baldwin,
I
not
get where
Alec
that came
Baldwin.
from.
Alec Baldwin was a different person, but people mix
Yes,
up the
I
Baldwin.
do that every
There's two
time.
Baldwins who support GamerGate, and there's a third Baldwin who's a famous actor. So there's so many Baldwins. I get
Yeah,
it. Oh,
there's
by
too
the way,
many
I'm
Baldwins.
I'm
Yeah,
interviewing Alex Baldwin, completely different person, by the way.
great.
But he is the
Yes,
moderator of
I
Kotaku in
know
Action. He was the head moderator for most of GamerGate,
them. Nice.
or at least like half of GamerGate. Yeah,
I
him and
will
I are on good
attempt to
terms.
catch them all.
I'm sorry, what did you say? I didn't hear you.
I will attempt to catch them all. The streams.
Oh, cool.
I
Yeah, I
kid you
hope to
me.
see you in the chat. And I'm doing a panel too, but